Imagine walking into a crowded room. One person immediately captures everyone's attention. They speak loudly, tell stories, and seem to know exactly what to say. Everyone notices them. But somewhere else in that same room sits another person. They speak only when necessary. They observe more than they talk. They don't seek the spotlight. Most people barely notice them. Now, here's the surprising question. Which of these two people is more likely to achieve lasting success? Our society often rewards visibility. We grow up believing that the loudest voice is the strongest voice. We're taught that confidence means speaking first, talking often, and making ourselves impossible to ignore. But history tells a different story. Many of the world's greatest innovators, investors, scientists, leaders, and creators shared one common characteristic. They were remarkably quiet. They weren't successful because they were quiet. They became successful because they developed powerful habits that often accompany a quieter personality. Author Susan Cain, whose groundbreaking work helped change the world's understanding of introversion, reminds us that some of the greatest contributions in history came from people who preferred reflection over attention. Leadership experts have reached a similar conclusion. Real influence isn't measured by how much you speak. It's measured by the value you bring. Today, we're going to explore 10 powerful reasons why quiet people often become extraordinarily successful. And perhaps by the end of this video, you'll discover that one of your greatest strengths has been hiding in plain sight. Let's begin. Reason number 1, quiet people listen more than they speak. Jim Rohn often emphasized that successful people are constant learners. Learning begins with listening. Most conversations today aren't really conversations. They're competitions. People interrupt. They prepare their next response before the other person has finished speaking. Everyone wants to be heard. Very few people genuinely listen. Quiet people naturally possess an advantage here. Instead of rushing to fill every silence, they pay attention. They notice small details. They hear not only the words people say, but also the emotions behind them. Daniel Goleman, the psychologist who popularized emotional intelligence, explained that understanding others begins with careful observation. Listening creates trust. Trust creates influence. Influence creates opportunity. Think about Warren Buffett. He's known for speaking calmly and deliberately, but he spends far more time reading and listening than talking. Before making billion-dollar decisions, he gathers information patiently. He doesn't react quickly. He responds thoughtfully. That's a habit anyone can develop. The next time you're in a conversation, try speaking a little less. Ask another question. Listen a little longer. You may discover that people willingly reveal opportunities you never would have noticed otherwise. Sometimes, the quietest person in the room learns the most. Reason number 2, they think before they act. In today's world, speed is often celebrated. Quick decisions, quick opinions. Quick reactions, but not every fast decision is a wise decision. Quiet people often pause before speaking. To some, this looks like hesitation. In reality, it's reflection. Carl Jung, whose work helped shape modern psychology, believed that people who naturally turn inward often process information more deeply before reaching conclusions. That extra moment of reflection can make an enormous difference. Successful people understand that one thoughtful decision can save years of regret. Imagine 2 business owners facing the same problem. One reacts emotionally and makes an immediate decision. The other gathers information, reflects carefully, and chooses after considering several possibilities. Who is more likely to succeed over time? Quiet thinking isn't slow thinking. It's careful thinking. And careful thinking often leads to better judgment. Before responding to criticism, before making a financial decision, before changing careers, pause. Sometimes wisdom arrives during the silence between your first reaction and your final decision. Reason number 3, deep focus becomes their superpower. One of the greatest challenges of modern life is distraction. Every few minutes, our phones demand attention. Social media competes for our focus. Notifications interrupt our thoughts. Yet extraordinary success usually comes from uninterrupted concentration. Productivity expert Cal Newport calls this deep work, the ability to focus intensely on one meaningful task without distraction. Quiet people often enjoy spending time alone. This naturally creates opportunities for deep work, while others are constantly switching between conversations, messages, and entertainment. Quiet individuals often spend longer periods immersed in learning, creating or solving problems. Great inventions weren't created in noisy rooms. Groundbreaking books weren't written between endless notifications. Important discoveries required uninterrupted thought. Deep focus allows ordinary people to produce extraordinary work. Success isn't always about working harder. Sometimes it's about working without interruption. The ability to concentrate has become one of the rarest and most valuable skills in today's world. Reason number 4, they are comfortable being alone. Many people confuse solitude with loneliness. They are not the same thing. Loneliness is feeling disconnected. Solitude is choosing time for reflection. Quiet people often enjoy moments of silence because those moments allow them to recharge, think clearly, and understand themselves. Bill Gates famously takes what he calls think weeks. For several days, he disconnects from meetings, emails, and everyday distractions to read, write, and reflect. Some of Microsoft's most important ideas emerge during these quiet periods. History repeatedly shows that solitude has been a powerful companion of creativity. When your mind isn't constantly reacting to outside noise, it finally has space to think. Personal growth often begins when the world becomes quiet. If you never spend time alone with your own thoughts, you'll always be living according to someone else's expectations. Silence isn't empty. Sometimes it's where your best ideas are waiting. Reason number 5. Quiet people develop exceptional emotional intelligence. One of the greatest strengths quiet people possess isn't visible. It's emotional awareness. Because they spend less time talking, they spend more time observing, they notice body language, facial expressions, changes in tone. Small emotional signals that many people completely overlook. Daniel Goleman argues that emotional intelligence is often a better predictor of long-term success than IQ alone. People naturally trust those who understand them. Quiet people often ask thoughtful questions. They don't rush to judge. They make others feel heard, and that's a rare gift. Think about the leaders you've respected most. Were they simply the loudest? Or were they the ones who listened, understood, and made you feel valued? Real leadership begins with empathy, and empathy begins with observation. Perhaps that's why quiet people often become trusted advisors, respected leaders, and dependable friends. Their greatest strength isn't speaking loudly. It's understanding deeply. Reason number 6. They let their results speak louder than their words. To use an old saying, empty barrels make the most noise. While the phrase may sound harsh, it contains a timeless truth. Many people spend more time talking about what they're going to do than actually doing it. They announce their plans. They seek approval before they've earned it. They celebrate the beginning instead of finishing the journey. Quiet people often do the opposite. They quietly get to work. Jim Rohn often reminded people not to be impressed by promises but by progress. Success isn't built through announcements. It's built through daily habits repeated over time. Consider someone training for a marathon. One person tells everyone they're preparing. The other wakes up every morning before sunrise and runs. Months later, only one crosses the finish line. Results always speak louder than intentions. History is filled with inventors, entrepreneurs, and creators who spent years working in silence before the world ever noticed them. Their success wasn't sudden. It was simply hidden from public view. Perhaps the greatest lesson is this: don't worry about convincing people you're becoming successful. Spend your energy becoming successful. Eventually, your work will introduce itself. Reason number 7. They never stop learning. One characteristic appears again and again among highly successful people: curiosity. Quiet people often ask thoughtful questions instead of pretending to know all the answers they read. They observe. They remain students long after everyone else believes they've learned enough. Charlie Munger, the longtime business partner of Warren Buffett, once said that he had rarely met a wise person who didn't read constantly. Learning compounds. Every book adds another perspective. Every conversation adds another lesson. Every mistake becomes another teacher. The beautiful thing about curiosity is that it keeps you growing no matter your age. Some people stop learning after graduation. Successful people never graduate from personal development. They understand that the world changes. Technology changes, business changes, life changes. Those who continue learning continue growing. And those who continue growing continue succeeding. Never allow your education to stop simply because school ended. Reason number 8. They protect their peace instead of chasing drama. Modern life is full of distractions, arguments online, office gossip, constant comparison, negative news. Many people become emotionally exhausted because they give their attention to everything. Quiet people often choose differently. They protect their peace. Stephen Covey taught that effective people focus on what they can control instead of becoming consumed by what they cannot. This simple habit creates remarkable emotional stability. Instead of arguing over every opinion, quiet people return to their goals. Instead of reacting to every criticism, they continue improving themselves. Instead of comparing their lives with everyone else's, they focus on becoming a little better each day. Peace isn't weakness. Peace is discipline. Every unnecessary argument steals time. Every distraction steals focus. Every complaint steals energy. Successful people guard these resources carefully because they understand that where attention goes, life follows. Reason number 9, quiet people build stronger relationships. Many people believe success depends on knowing as many people as possible. In reality, success often depends on how deeply people trust you. Quiet people may have fewer friendships, but those friendships are usually stronger. They remember details. They keep promises. They show genuine interest. They make people feel important. Psychologists have long recognized that trust is built through consistency rather than charisma. People rarely remember the loudest person they met, but they never forget someone who truly listened. Some of the strongest business partnerships began not with impressive speeches, but with honest conversations. Real influence isn't built by talking over people. It's built by understanding them. If you want stronger relationships, become more interested than interesting. Ask thoughtful questions. Listen carefully. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel heard. And those relationships often become the greatest opportunities in life. Reason number 10. Quiet confidence is often the strongest confidence. Perhaps the greatest misunderstanding about confidence is believing it must always be loud. True confidence rarely needs to announce itself. It doesn't seek applause. It doesn't compete for attention. It doesn't constantly compare itself with others. Quiet confidence comes from preparation, integrity, discipline, experience. It comes from knowing who you are, even when nobody is watching. Imagine 2 leaders entering a room. One immediately tries to impress everyone. The other calmly listens, asks thoughtful questions, and speaks only when something valuable needs to be said. Which leader would you trust? Confidence isn't measured by how much you speak. It's measured by how much certainty your actions communicate. The tallest tree in the forest doesn't compete with the smaller trees. It simply continues growing. The same is true for truly confident people. They don't need to prove their worth. Their character proves it for them. Final thoughts: if you've ever been called too quiet, perhaps you've misunderstood your greatest strength. The world often celebrates noise, but history celebrates results. Quiet people succeed because they develop habits that many overlook. They listen more than they speak. They think before they act. They focus deeply. They embrace solitude. They understand people. They allow their work to speak. They never stop learning. They protect their peace. They build meaningful relationships, and they carry a confidence that doesn't require constant attention. None of these qualities depend on personality alone. They are habits, and habits can be learned. Whether you're naturally quiet or naturally outgoing, these principles belong to anyone willing to practice them. The next time you feel overlooked because you're not the loudest voice in the room, remember this: a seed grows underground long before anyone sees the tree. The greatest rivers flow quietly. Diamonds are formed in silence beneath the earth, and some of the strongest people you'll ever meet don't need to tell you they're strong. They simply live in a way that proves it. So don't underestimate the power of quietness. Use it to observe. Use it to learn. Use it to grow, because while the world is busy trying to be noticed, you can be busy becoming extraordinary. And one day, people will look at your success and call it overnight. Only you will know it was built quietly. One thoughtful decision, one disciplined habit and one silent victory at a time.